Today on the Morning Edition, the minimum wage in the state of Alaska has bumped up again as it continues to do so each year until 2027. We'll look at where it is now and what the plans are for the future. Plus, the day the family of Anesha, Duffy, and Murnane have long awaited for has arrived. We'll share the judge's sentencing of Kirby Calderwood in her murder case. And later. Fans of Team USA set the tone for the U.S. World Cup match yesterday, singing, chanting, and showing their full support as they marched to the stadium. We'll check it out as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Good morning, Bailey.
Good morning.
We had some nice sunshine yesterday. That was a good.
I know, it was so nice, and it felt warm enough to just be able to bask in the sunlight, you know?
Yeah, if only it stuck around to bleed into, you know, the 4th of July festivities a little bit, but unfortunately, it's not really looking like that.
That's true, yeah. Today is kind of going to be the last day of more of that sunshine, that warmth that you can enjoy and bask in if you're able to. Plenty of those clear skies across the state right now, but as Kristen said, we are going to see a little bit of a switch up as early as tomorrow. Temperatures across the state feeling just a little bit cooler with a cooler start to the month, sitting in the 40s across much of the state. But as you can see, plenty of sun, so it's kind of a win-lose situation. Right now, temperatures across much of the state sitting in the 40s, while we do see temperatures reaching that freezing threshold in Utqiagvik, but we will start to warm up today back up into the low 60s. Before today, across much of South Central, we'll see some clouds into coastal areas from Seward into Prince William Sound, and we will also see an increase in thunderstorm potential for areas like the Matsu Valley, as well as into Glen Allen. So the further inland you get, that's where we see more of a likelihood for these afternoon thunderstorms and even some of that rain potential. Now for Anchorage into Kenai, that's where we're going to see lots more of that sunshine, even portions into Soldotna. We'll enjoy a lot more of that sun today, but as Thursday night and into Friday roll around, that's when we see a lot more of that cloud cover arriving. And then this little front right behind me, that's what's going to bring in a lot of our rainfall into our 4th of July weekend. So for our hourly forecast throughout the day today, enjoy a lot of that sunshine with partly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Our high temperatures will reach around 63 or 64 degrees today in Anchorage, so warming up slightly, and even as we approach the weekend into the close of this weekend, we'll see temperatures climbing up near 70 degrees. In Fairbanks, that's where temperatures are reaching 73 degrees for that high with partly sunny skies ahead. But for areas like Southeast, that's where we'll see a little bit more of those showers. So throughout the day today, enjoy more of that sunshine. Then we'll see that chance of showers rolling in by tomorrow afternoon, and then gradually warming up back into the 70s. And I'll have all the rest of your details coming up just a little bit later.
Well, the Seward Highway is back open after 2 people were killed in a crash at Potter Marsh Wednesday morning. Traffic was redirected for a major portion of the day. Joe Allgood shares what we know so far as the investigation continues.
Yeah, 3 cars went into Potter Marsh behind me. They were submerged there for hours, and unfortunately, 2 people were declared dead at the scene. The accident happened around 9 this morning on the busy stretch of highway. Police, fire, and paramedics responded, closing the highway as they worked to recover the vehicles. The names of the 2 people killed have not been released, while authorities notify next of kin. A 3rd person was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The cars were removed from the marsh using a crane, and the road was reopened shortly before 5 p.m. The cause of the crash is still under investigation, according to police. Exactly 1 week ago, there were 2 other fiery crashes on the Seward Highway, though neither of those were fatal. Traffic is back to normal, so if you're traveling in the area, you don't have to expect any delays, but as always, use caution and be careful on these narrow stretches of Seward Highway. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Meantime, the Fairbanks North Star Borough Assembly has voted to approve the Pearl Creek Steam Charter School to lease the former Pearl Creek Elementary School. After lengthy discussions and a vote, that decision was made just after 9 p.m. Wednesday. The State Board of Education has approved the charter school, but the school district has refused to open it. A judge has declined to force their hand. The Assembly debated leasing the building to the APC, but only if the charter school first receives a contract to operate. Supporters say it's a simple matter, but School Board President Bobby Burgess heeded warnings of impacts in the court.
Does it make sense to lease an empty building, public building, to a new public school, or should taxpayers continue paying to heat and maintain a vacant building?
The main thing that it will do right now is help the state's case in the appeal because it shows that because it strengthens the facilities plan essentially of the ABC. I think that is the intent behind this, based on some communications that I've seen.
The Assembly voted 6 to 2 in favor. The charter school's future remains in the hands of the courts. Minimum wage in Alaska increased this week from $13 to $14 an hour. That extra dollar could make a noticeable difference for thousands of workers and their families. This year's increase is part of a ballot measure passed by voters in November 2024. The law raises Alaska's minimum wage by $1 an hour each year through 2027, with the final scheduled jump to $15 an hour next year. Right now, Alaska's minimum wage is nearly twice the federal minimum. After 2027, the state plans to keep adjusting wages through 2028 based on inflation. The legislature is nearing the halfway point of its special session on an LNG pipeline. That bill focuses on property tax breaks for the developer. The developer of the gas line says significant tax breaks are needed. Lawmakers in the bipartisan majority are worried the cuts are too steep.
I believe that we could actually wait until January. Let them continue to work. We can continue to hold meetings, keep track of their progress. Let them continue to speak to investors, work the numbers, and come back and work on this some more in January.
I'm going to be that person with hope, have the optimism that we're going to get a product that can work.
Lawmakers will discuss a new version of the bill today. For more details on this story, including expanded lawmaker reaction, visit our website or mobile app. A man convicted of killing a woman in 2019 has been sentenced in Homer after pleading guilty to killing 38-year-old Anesha Duffy Murnane. Georgina Fernandez joined the court virtually as that sentencing was delivered.
It's the worst thing anyone can imagine, happening to a loved one.
It's been nearly 7 years.
It's the day she went missing. Our life has not been the same.
Since Anesha Duffy Murnane was last seen alive.
October 19, 2019, although we now know she was actually murdered on October 17, 2019.
On Wednesday, after years of waiting, her family is finally getting a sigh of relief.
And the cruelty exhibited by the defendant show this court that Kirby Calderwood is tremendously dangerous to those around him.
As Judge Kelly Lawson sentenced 36-year-old Kirby Calderwood to 87 years in prison after Calderwood this past February pled guilty to killing Murnane.
And again, for us, it's a huge relief because what we have been afraid of was that the murderer would walk free and he would do this to another family.
Calderwood addressing Murnane's loved ones in court.
I guess I just want to apologize to Duffy's family and my family. I understand now how precious Anesha was to everybody.
No matter how terrible a crime is, if someone is truly sorry, I think forgiveness is possible, but I do not think he was sorry.
Now, with a hard chapter closing behind them.
This is not something, obviously, that one ever will forget.
Murnane remains close to their heart.
The blue ribbon, can you tell me what it symbolizes?
Blue was her favorite color. And we will never forget her. She's always with us, and blue helps us remember that.
As her family defines her story, not by her tragic death, but the life she lived and the lives she touched. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
A reminder, this Friday, Eagle River is celebrating 4th of July with its 4th of July extravaganza at the Lions Park. Fireworks go off at midnight. And on Saturday, downtown, Anchorage will host its annual 4th of July parade at the Delaney Park Strip at 10 a.m. Keep an eye out for some familiar faces and voices from Alaska's news source. An article in AAA named 2 Alaskan cities, Anchorage and Fairbanks, among the top 10 domestic travel destinations in the U.S. for Independence Day weekend. While Anchorage prepares to hold its own America 250 events, Alex Bengal takes us through what Fairbanks had planned for the occasion.
Saturday is shaping up to be a busy day in Fairbanks, celebrating both the 4th of July and America's semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
Fairbanks seem to be leading the way as far as events that are transpiring and celebrating this monumental moment in America's history, our 250th birthday.
Explore Fairbanks says travel numbers are strong this summer, with the revitalized downtown ready to welcome visitors.
Entering into July and mid-August is kind of the peak of the summer season.
The community will see its traditional parades in Esther and North Pole, along with an Independence Day ceremony at Pioneer Park.
They're all different in personality and flavor, but at the end of the day, it's all about celebrating this great country that we live in.
That evening, the Alaska Gold Panners game at Groudon Park will feature the unveiling of two 60-foot flags and a military flyover for America 250. Next week, the Declaration of Independence will be read at Fairbanks City Hall, while the annual Golden Days Parade, later in the month, will feature the nation's 250th anniversary as a theme, recognizing how far the country has come and celebrating Alaska's place in it. Alex Spengel, Alaska's news source.
Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, as 4th of July celebrations approach and ramp up, take a moment to remember our four-legged family members. We'll share some pet safety tips to remember.
And enjoy your Thursday sunshine just before clouds take over into the holiday weekend. And stay tuned for that forecast coming up.
Welcome back in. 14 minutes past the hour on this Thursday morning, and it looks like, Bailey, some of that beautiful sunshine we saw yesterday bleeding into this morning. My drive to work was stunning. There was pink in the sky, and the moon looked great too.
Yeah, the moon was stunning, and it's a beautiful morning, like you mentioned, plenty of that sunshine, clear skies, but you're probably feeling those cooler temperatures as well, dipping down to 44 degrees. That's all due to the help of that radiational cooling and those clear skies that you can see on our camera, helping to alleviate some of that heat overnight. Now, as we look ahead throughout the next few days, we're going to see a climb in these temperatures. Now, we're off to a fairly cool start with our July temperatures reaching into the mid to low 60s for the next couple days and through the weekend. But then by Sunday, that's when we're going to see a clear up in sky conditions, lots of that sunshine. After Saturday, though, so we're going to have a little bit of a drizzly 4th of July. But by the time Sunday rolls around, not only will we have warmer temperatures, but we're also going to have plenty more of that sunshine. Now, as we look ahead for today, areas like Anchorage and Taquina, as well as Soldotna, we'll see plenty of that sunshine into the interior. That's where we're going to see some partly sunny skies. And then by the afternoon to evening hours, you see all of this green starting to pop up, and that's going to be that thunderstorm potential. Now, thunderstorms aren't only going to affect the interior, but also areas to the west of the interior and even into the Matsu Valley, where we are forecasting a chance of that light rain into the afternoon. For southeast, though, throughout the overnight hours and into tomorrow, we will see that rain starting to develop as that next storm begins to make landfall into Friday morning. And then that's going to stick around all throughout your weekend, your holiday weekend. And then that chance of rainfall that we're watching for areas like South Central is going to arrive from this storm, pushing over Bristol Bay, impacting areas like Bethel, Dillingham, as well as into the Alaska Peninsula. But then by Saturday morning, that's kind of when we're expecting that next storm to make landfall. Now, across the state right now, we're actually paying attention to some of these showers still lingering in the Alaska Peninsula, impacting areas along the Alaska Peninsula up into Bethel, but we're also forecasting our temperatures to start to warm up just a little bit more. So throughout your day today, expect temperatures to climb up to about 64 degrees in Anchorage. Plenty of that sunshine. Enjoy it while you can, because it's not sticking around for very long. Meanwhile, in areas like southeast, that's where that chance of light rain showers are going to pass throughout the day today, and then you'll pick up even more of that rain by tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. For the interior, there's where that chance of thunderstorm potential is, as well as those partly sunny skies throughout most of your day. Into areas like Kotzebue, even down into the Seward Peninsula, we are holding on to that chance of scattered showers throughout your day today. Now, for today in South Central, we're going to see plenty of that sunshine again in parts of the Kenai Peninsula. And then that chance of seeing a lot more of those clouds into coastal areas from Prince William Sound into Seward. That's where a lot more of those clouds are going to linger, with these temperatures starting to warm up as the next few days begin to roll around. Even with our 7-day, you can start to see that Sunday again is the day to mark on your calendar. So if you want to celebrate July 4th, a little bit later, that's when those conditions are going to be much more suitable for outdoor events. Meanwhile, in areas like the interior for your day, partly sunny skies, that chance of thunderstorms a little bit closer into the Alaska range, and we are going to see a lot more of that rain likely to the south, which is where the Alaska range is. So brace for some of those afternoon showers associated with those thunderstorms. For the next few days, we're also going to warm up just a little bit more for areas like the interior and for Fairbanks. And for southeast, that's where that chance of light rain is very likely for today, mostly for areas in the central region of the Panhandle into Juneau up into Skagway. And for the next few days, as we look at our 7-day, we'll warm back up into the low to mid 60s into the end of this weekend and into next week.
Fireworks, beautiful, flashy, bright, and loud. They can be terrifying for dogs and other pets. In fact, the 5th of July is one of the busiest days of the year for animal shelters. Danny Tompkins has some tips for trainers on how to keep dogs calm.
This is Moose, the sweetest little 9-week-old black lab. But a local dog daycare owner says that Moose may experience some new scary things this weekend.
She's one of our best little customers.
Gordon Sloan owns Camp Bow Wow in Anchorage, a center for dog daycare, boarding, and training, and the occasional celebration.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
And speaking of birthdays.
So this week's, the nation's 250th birthday.
Which means there's something to watch for.
The fireworks, keep in mind those dogs can hear 4 to 5 times more than the humans.
Every year, some dogs bolt.
Between July 4th and July 6th is the busiest time for animal shelters because dogs do get startled and take off.
A few simple steps can make a big difference.
Get them into a safe environment where it's cool, a little quiet noise, a little white noise, some dim the lights always makes it nice.
Make sure your dog's microchip is up to date and watch what you're dropping.
Keep in mind dropping food that's toxic dogs, grapes, corn cobs are really bad for dogs.
For new pups like Moose.
Let them know that they're safe. If you're calm, your dog will be a little bit more calm as well.
The message is simple. Be prepared, because the best fireworks show is the one you both make it home from. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Another helpful reminder, also check your yard for any debris from fireworks or any other items that animals can get into.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.